Hello and welcome, my dear students. Today's lesson is about the present continuous tense. Now, what do we mean by the present continuous? We will discuss in details the meaning and the form of the present continuous tense. Look at the pictures in front of you. In the first picture, you will see that there are some kids that are swimming. And in the second picture, you will see that there are two men that are eating. So here, look, I said the kids are swimming and the men are eating. So here I am talking about actions that are happening at the moment of my speaking. Actions that I can see right now. At the end of this class, you are expected to know the context where the present continuous tense is used and to recognize the form of the present continuous tense. First of all, how do we form the present continuous tense? Now, the present continuous tense is formed by having the verb to be followed by the present participle. Now, the present verb to be means is, am, are. One of these three verbs followed by the present participle. And the present participle means the verb that ends with ing. Now, as you can see in the picture in front of you, there is a man that is drawing. So the man is drawing. Look, I said the man is drawing. Is because the man is singular. And if you have a plural verb, you would say the men are drawing. Or if you are talking about yourself, you would say I am drawing. In the examples in front of you, you would say you are watching TV in the affirmative form. And we form it by doing a kind of a switch between the subject and the helping verb, is, am, are. The last example is the negative form. We form it by having the not added to the helping verb. You are not watching TV. In the table in front of you, the three forms of the present continuous: the positive or the interrogative, the negative, and the question or the interrogative form. Now, let's go to the uses when or the context of using the present continuous tense. Now, the first use, we use the present continuous to talk about actions that are happening at the moment of my speaking. Now, as you can see in front of you, this actor is Will Smith. What is he doing now? He is dancing. You know, I am expressing an activity that this man is doing in front of me right now. He is dancing. He is dancing now. Now, is he going to be dancing forever? Of course, no. Or I'm not interested in this. What I am interested in is that at the moment of my speaking, he is dancing. Now, we use the present continuous with continuous verbs to express the idea that something is happening now, at this very moment. It can also be used to show that something is not happening now if it is in the negative form. Right now, I am not eating. Right now, you're not watching a movie. You're studying. So this is the first use for the present continuous tense. You are learning English right now. You're not swimming right now. If I want to ask about an activity that is happening now, I would say, are you sleeping right now? And so on. The second use for the present continuous is that it is used with longer actions in progress now. What do we mean by this? In English, the word now does not necessarily mean that something is happening at the moment of my speaking. It might mean at this moment, or today, or this month, this year, this century, and so on. So it might be used to express a very long activity if you are engaged with an activity for a long time. For example, the author is writing a novel now. Does that mean at this very moment he is writing a novel? Does that mean he is writing the novel at the moment of my speaking? Could be, but it also might mean he is engaged in writing. Maybe at night he is writing, but he is engaged with this activity, with this long activity. Now, sometimes we use the present continuous to say that we are in the process of doing a longer action. which is not in progress at the moment now. However, we might not be doing it in the exact second. Maybe at night we are doing it. Like for example, I am studying to become a doctor. I am engaged with this long activity, which is studying. I will spend maybe 5 to 7 years studying to be a doctor. I am engaged with this activity. Think of this sentence. I am reading The Merchant of Venice by William Shakespeare. Does that mean I am reading it at the moment of my speaking? Of course, no. I read it. I am engaged in reading it. Maybe I read it at night, but I am not finished with it. So I am spending some time reading it. That does not mean I am reading it at the moment of my speaking. The third use for the present continuous is that I use it to talk about near future or future arrangements or things that are arranged to happen in the near future. Okay, sometimes speakers use the present continuous to indicate that something will or will not happen in the near future. In other words, it is used to talk about arrangements for events at a time later than now. Like the examples, I am meeting my friends after work, or I am going to the party tonight. So all of these actions are arranged to happen in the near future. Now, the fourth use for the present continuous is that we use it with always to express annoyance or the repetition that leads to irritation. When an action that is repeated over and over and you don't like this action, you are annoyed with this action, you use the present continuous. Like, as you can see in the picture in front of you, this student is always coming late. So the teacher might say, you are always coming late. Using always between the is-mr and the ing shows that you are annoyed with the repetition of that action. Okay? So we use the present continuous with words such as always or constantly to express the idea that something irritating or shocking often happens. Notice that the meaning is like the simple present, but with negative emotion. Remember to put the words always or constantly between be and the verb ing, as I said. Like the example that we said earlier, she is always or he is always coming late to class. So here, I am annoyed with this action. Or for example, your brother is always taking your charger. So you would say that my brother is always taking my charger. The repetition of this action leads to annoyance. So you are annoyed by the repetition of that action. Remember that we have something called the non-continuous verbs. What do we mean by the non-continuous verbs? The non-continuous verbs are the verbs that do not take the ing, that they can't be in the progressive form. What are these verbs? There are too many. We will discuss some of them. Now, let's have a look at this example. She is loving the chocolate ice cream. And she loves the chocolate ice cream. Now, if we think of the verb love, the verb love does not take the ing form. It can't be in the progressive form. It is a stative verb. And we know that stative verbs do not take the ing. The first sentence is incorrect because we used it in the present continuous tense. And we know that the verb love is a non-continuous verb. Whereas in the second sentence, we used it in the present simple tense. She loves chocolate ice cream because it shows her feeling. These verbs are usually things you can't see somebody doing. These verbs are rarely used in the continuous tense. They might be the abstract verbs. They might be abstract verbs like the verb be or want, cause, seem, need. They might be verbs of possession, when you possess something, when you own something, like possess, own, or belong. Sometimes they might be verbs that show emotions, like, the verb like, or love, dislike, fear, mind. These show emotions. Have a look at this example. In the first example, he is needing help right now. It's incorrect because need does not take the ing. The verb need does not take the ing. Whereas in the second one, in the second example, it is totally correct. He needs help now. Third one, he is wanting a drink now. It's incorrect. Whereas he wants a drink now is correct. Now let's have some exercises. The first sentence, John read a book now. So as long as we are talking about an action that is happening at the moment of my speaking now, so I must use the present continuous. So the answer is John is reading a book now. Second one, what you do tonight. So here I'm asking about the future arrangement. So as we said earlier, with the future arrangements, we use the present continuous. So the answer should be, what are you doing tonight? Number 3, Jack and Peter late today. Jack and Peter plural. Don't forget this. So Jack and Peter are working late today. Sylvia not listen to music. I'm talking about an activity that she is not engaged in right now. So Sylvia is not listening to music. Maria next to Sarah. I'm talking about their situation right now. She is sitting next to her. So the answer, Maria is sitting next to Sarah. 6, how many other students you study with? I'm asking about you right now, the number of the students that you're studying with. So the answer, how many other students are you studying with? And notice that they are before you because it is interrogative form. It is the question. Number 7, my phone not ring. My phone is not ringing. Maria and John are leaving. Be quiet, the kids are sleeping. The weather is singular, so the weather is getting better now. That's it. I hope that you enjoyed this lesson. If you have any question, don't hesitate to contact me anytime. Thanks for watching and see you next time. Good luck.